Okay, so this tarot reading, I originally was asking what my last experience with hemp oil was all about, but this one, this reading is actually referring to my first experience. So, while it was futile for me to be practicing divination before, or at least, at the very least, very hard for me to be even attempting it, as in I wouldn't be getting anywhere anytime soon. The hemp oil ripped open that dam in my brain, forced it open so that I could experience the level of satiety, of fullness of my true potential, my true being. And while I thought that the main point of it all was to gain knowledge about myself, it in fact opened me up more to my intuition, to the universal source, just a crack. That was one other thing that I meant to mention in that last video. Is I had a vision during that first experience of my pineal gland, and it was covered in a white layer. Looked like it was covered in toothpaste or something. And as I watched, that shell around it cracked open. It didn't completely shatter. It just cracked. And I did have the theory that it had opened it up somewhat. And turns out this is going further into it. At this point, I am now able to fulfill the requirements for developing my ability in divination and evocation enough so that I can start manipulating what comes. Now that crack is opened, things are beginning to change inside of me on their own. I've noticed the changes over the past week, subtly, but they are there. The trials I am putting myself through at this time, my diet, my schooling, my occult practices, are further enhancing the progress, the process towards the goal. And I'm hoping that once I go back to Peru, then I'll be able to fully break through that shell, which is something I've already mentioned time and again. And with that, I will take control. I will defeat the dark blockage and open a dam that will flood my whole being immediately and to an extreme level. The part of this that was most enlightening, as I already knew most of this. Well, not most. I knew most of what was going on over here. Over here, I didn't know just how much I was being held back by that shield. I mean, I knew I was being held back, but not to the point where I didn't realize it was to the point where these occult practices and such were next to useless. And when I had the experience, I thought it was less healing and more informative, and it was very informative. But the thing that I kind of neglected was the fact that it had in fact cracked through that shield, and let in more light, more energy, more universal source energy. And now I have enough to sate my requirements for the next 9 months or so that it takes to prepare myself for my next ayahuasca journey. So, that is that. Thank you.